Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down my drum and bass track called Give You Everything, and hopefully by doing that, it'll give you some ideas, maybe tips and tricks to take away for your own productions. Okay, so to begin with, I started off with a chord progression. What I like to do is one of two things with most productions, especially like pop, EDM, drum and bass type of productions that include vocals, is that I either like to try and get the vocal first and then build a chord progression around that. I most of the time start with a piano chord progression, and if I have to change that out, eventually I will, or I start with the chord progression and then hopefully find a good vocal that matches that a little bit later on. So either the chord progression first or the vocal first. So this time I opened the Noir Pure library inside of Contact, sounded like this. Add a little bit of reverb. The chord progression is nothing crazy, it's just an F minor chord progression. As you can see, I've put it off grid a little bit, so it sounds like it's being like kind of like strummed almost, just to kind of give it like that human type of feel. But yeah, as you can see here, nothing crazy about the chord progression really. So up next was finding the actual vocal I was going to use.
Close your eyes, only got one night. Just put your trust in me, give me everything. I need your love tonight, so baby please don't fight it. Put your trust in me, I'll give you.
That was the vocal for that. Sometimes I get really lucky with vocals because I like to start with a vocal and build around it. Like I said before, it's much harder to build something and then try and fit a vocal in afterwards, in my opinion. So I got pretty lucky with this vocal here. Pretty sure it was from Splice. It was actually an A minor, but I dropped it by 4 to make it an F minor. Now that we had the chord progression as well as the vocal, I can kind of just beef it out. So I'd use that same chord progression on like other elements like pads and strings. So I opened up Currents. Currents is such an awesome VST plugin by Minimal Audio. I'll list below what I've used as well as in terms of VST plugins and whatnot. Also, I know a really good channel for VST plugins. I'll leave that here as well. But yeah, this is Current. I use this a lot. This is one of the layers I've used using that chord progression. Love that. And also this here. Don't know what it was about this layer, but I just had something to it, kind of beefing it out. Here is the piano and the 2 pads together. Next sound was the bass sound, the kind of re-smoog type of sound back in Current again. Told you that I use this an awful lot on these productions. Pretty awesome, right? Current, honestly, if you don't use it, then take a look at it. I think I might have made a video on my other channel about it, and I wasn't lying. I do use it all the time. So here are those elements. I'll add the vocal in as well.
Close your eyes, only got one night. Just put your trust in me, give me everything. I need your love tonight, so baby please don't fight it. Put your trust in me, I'll give you everything. 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 So
in terms of the notes for the bass, nothing crazy, pretty much just following the root notes for the chord progression, with a few kind of slides to give it that kind of extra energy. And as you might have heard there as well, I lowered the vocal just to give it a bit of character.
I'll give you everything.
As well as a ton of reverb as well, using the UFX reverb by UJam. So let's just run through the vocals here for the main part. Hopefully this on the screen will give you a bit of a understanding as well. Actually, what have I used here? Use that part of the vocal for some kind of texture underneath. Felt cute at the time. But yeah, here's all of that together, and I've added reverb and chopped up some parts as you can see on the screen.
Close Close your eyes, only got one night. Just put your trust in me. Give me everything. I need your love tonight. So baby, please don't fight it. Put your trust in me. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. Put your trust in me. I'll give you everything.
So that's how that went down. Ton of reverb. I've automated the reverb, but it's difficult to keep a hold of reverbs in like mixes and stuff. So you got to watch how much you add, and if you want to chop some of the low end out, some of that as well, so it's not clashing with anything else. So I'm to pause you there as well, just trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel, and that would be awesome. So if you could look down there, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, that would be awesome. Looking to be really active on this channel this year. The drums, nothing too special about the drums, I don't think. Play them by themselves. Bit of a percussion loop with a kick and a snare. Just standard stuff really. Sounds pretty cool with the rest of it. Added some effects. Make it sound a bit more epic. Opened current again apparently for another bit of ambience. Be very mindful how much stuff you put underneath. I know I've put a ton underneath myself, but I think I've managed to kind of like cut it enough for it not to be too muddy, hopefully. Added that under there, and that wouldn't make it muddy anyway because that's quite high end anyway. Another effect down here. Add some kind of like tension or like expectation for the drop, and then we just have the build, which is kind of a bit of everything leading up to the drop. And play that. So it's just using a kick, yeah. And as you can see on the screen here, that's just automating the auto filter and the EQ there, and just using some of the elements from the main part. Also used this. What is this? Here we are, this melodic ambient pluck. I don't think I even use that for the rest of the track, no, just in the build. Use this here. Sounds pretty cool. It's all about building kind of like a scene in a way, you know, loads of rises and impacts, but making sure they don't clash at the same time. I think that's kind of the important part. Let's see what we've got here all together. I think I've covered pretty much everything. There's not too much going on. I've probably got more effects and texture layers than anything else. Oh yeah, listen to this little cute little drop here as well. When we get to it, I'll play it. But just little ear candy like that I like to add.
Your eyes, only got one night. Just put your trust in me. Give me everything. I need your love tonight. So baby, please don't fight it. Put your trust in me. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. Put your trust in me. I'll give you everything. So hold on to me. Never let me go. Right here in your arms is where I want to be.
And then we just go around again. I think that's how simple it can be. That's all just based off one chord progression, essentially, with the bass notes or the root notes being the bass itself. I think that's how simple it can be, with some really, really good sound selections and some really nice ambiences and textures in there as well. Feel free to stream this. I'll leave it in the description below. Let me know what kind of genres or what kind of music you want me to break down next, or even make from scratch in the comment section below. Hoping to push out a lot more videos on this channel going forward. Be safe, be productive, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.